This is the Victrix Pro BFG Reloaded. This is a modular controller and it even comes with a 6-button Fightpad module. But is it any good for fighting games? Let's find out. And here's how the box looks like. I've got the PlayStation version. There's also an Xbox version as well. I have a couple of Victrix's other controllers. This guy is the Gambit. Looks kind of similar, but it's not a modular controller. And this guy is the Pro BFG. This is the original controller, and the Fightpad you can see here, the logo is up here. And here is the new Reloaded version. If you check out the Fightpad modules, you can see that they moved the buttons up here and they put the logo down here now, right? Other than the redesigned Fightpad module, the sticks are now Hall effect sticks. And as far as I can tell, everything else is the same on both controllers. This one also comes with a case here. We have a pretty long USB-A to USB-C cable. The controller itself, the Fightpad. The default stick rings are circular. You also have the option for these edged and cutout ones, kind of like on the N64. Comes with a dongle as well. You get 2 additional D-pad shapes, 2 additional stick caps. We have a shorter dome stick cap and a really long stick cap here as well. And finally, you have a screwdriver. Let's say you want to install the Fightpad module. What you do is you unscrew this guy, you put the module in, screw it back on, and you can switch the positioning of the D-pad and the joysticks as well. This is great if you prefer the D-pad to be up here. I gotta say something, I am not a big fan of the screw design. It just takes so long to unscrew and screw it back in. I mean, it works and it's secured, but what happens if you lose the screwdriver? Now, I got a Pengu here. There's these buttons here. All I gotta do, just press these in, and then this thing comes out. Just press it back in. Look how quick and easy that was. This screw system, while it works, is the most unintuitive and slow modular system out there. So this controller is very well built. And I think the white version looks really good. And personally, I think it looks way better than the black version. This black version, because of the purple here, makes it look like a toy, you know? It makes it look kind of cheap, but this white one here, a lot classier for sure. And in terms of ergonomics, as you can see here, the handles are nice and long. The Xbox style, no bend of the wrist at all. You can play this guy for a long period of time without getting tired. Let's go around the controller real quick. On top here, you got shoulder buttons and triggers. And these triggers are huge. And in terms of tension, they're pretty light. This is one of the lighter triggers out there. Now what's cool about this trigger is you can actually adjust where it stops. So for example, if I want to make the travel to stop right in the middle, press it in to where you like it. Okay, so this is the midpoint, then let go. Now it's locked in. Now this is the travel that I prefer. That's pretty cool, right? You also have the ability to lock them as well. When it's locked, there's barely any travel at all. Just the slightest touch, you're gonna trigger it. In the beginning, I kept on triggering this accidentally all the time. But thankfully, you can adjust the sensitivity on the triggers. Just download the Victrix Control Hub on the Microsoft Store. Go to Configure, and then go to Triggers. When it's 0, that means there's no dead zone at all. I settle on 5, and this works for me. You can map the back buttons here as well. Unfortunately, for the back buttons here, you can only map 1 button to it at a time, so there's no diagonals here. Now, speaking of the software, let's talk about this for a second. Right out of the box, it does not work. It just wouldn't recognize the controller. So I have to do some research, and thankfully there was a Reddit thread with some instructions for you to fix it. Essentially, you gotta edit some registries and delete some lines to make this work. So if you're not computer savvy, you're gonna buy this controller and you're not gonna be able to remap the back buttons, which defeats the whole purpose of having a pro controller, right? But thankfully I was able to get it working, as you can see here. So if you think of getting this controller and worry about this, I actually have a tutorial on how to fix the app, so check that guy out. Let's begin with the Fightpad module here. You've got 6 buttons and they're really nice and big. If you're going to use a 6-button layout like this, it's probably better if you play a claw, right? So put this on your lap and then play it like this. I can see that this is going to be good for Soul Calibur or Street Fighter, obviously. And I'm really glad that they took the feedback and changed the positioning of these buttons to make it a lot more ergonomic and comfortable to use. What's cool about a 6-button layout like this on Street Fighter 6 is that you don't have to move your thumb around. You can just lay your fingers like this and you get access to all of the buttons all at once, making it a lot faster. Now, while I'm glad that they fixed the positioning of the buttons, but it's not perfect though. For one, the switches are not clicky at all. They're micro mice switches. There's no feel to them at all. You don't feel them click at all. They just kind of bottom out. And that's it. These face buttons are so much more tactile than the switches on the Fightpad. These are rubber-dome switches. And you can really feel when you press it down and when it springs up. Okay, let's talk about the joysticks a little bit. Unlike the triggers, which is pretty light in terms of tension, these guys have a lot of tension to them. In terms of rotation, I think they're okay. They're not the smoothest, but it's not terrible. Now what's cool about this stick is you have the option of having a round ring or a cutout ring. For the cutout ring, if you look in the back, you're gonna find that there's this one little thing here that sticks out in between the teeth. So you gotta line this one tooth up with the small one here, or else it's gonna get misaligned. Push it in. Okay, now we put it back. Now it's perfectly aligned. If you're somebody who likes to use the joystick for fighting games, this is going to be a great option for you. Now for me, I only use the sticks for circular or 360 movements, so I prefer my left joystick to be smooth. So I'm going to leave it like that. But what I do want though is this dome stick cap. This is going to make rotating the stick a lot faster. So what you do, just yank it out, push it in. Now with this setup, 360s and 720s can be super easy to do. Check that out. Alright, let's move on to the D-pads. We've got 3 of them here. A diamond-shaped D-pad, a cross-shaped D-pad, and a hybrid D-pad. You just yank it out. Here's what it looks like underneath. The switches on the D-pad is also rubber dome switches. And then just line it up, press it in. Now personally, I am sick and tired of micro mice switches. They are super light, you can't feel the click at all, and they're just too sensitive. So I for one am glad that this guy has just regular rubber dome switches. They spring up really quickly and you can actually feel them. Thank God. Before we do anything else, let's see if the D-pad has a pivot. As you can clearly see there, I can press it in. This guy does not have a hard pivot, which is too bad. It's unfortunate. Now, just because the controller doesn't have a pivot doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. It just means that there's more of a chance for you to have a misinput if you press the center of the D-pad. But if you're like me and you press the D-pad around the edges, then there's not really a problem. Alright, we're going to start with this cross-shaped D-pad. If you're playing a game like DOA 6 here that requires accurate cardinal directions, then this cross-shaped D-pad is so good for that, because you can feel where the edges are. Straight directions and diagonals are very accurate. Now, because the cross-shaped D-pad is a little bit on the smaller side and it sits right on top of the switches, it requires a little bit more force for you to press the directions. In terms of motion inputs, it's pretty good. So as you can see right there, the lack of a pivot is not really an issue for me on this D-pad. This cross-shaped D-pad is an excellent D-pad. Now let's talk about this hybrid D-pad. Essentially it's a round disc, but for the diagonals they kind of lower the edges. You would think that this will make diagonals a lot better, but unfortunately that's just not the case. This D-pad shape is not very accurate at all. I constantly messed up my cardinal directions with this, and the reason being is just there's no feel. The surface here is just flat. Despite these divots, your thumb just kind of go over it, whereas on something like this, you really feel the corners and the edges here. So yeah, unfortunately this is not very good. If you're gonna do a hybrid D-pad, do it like this, where the buttons are raised up. This way you can feel your way around. If you're gonna get this controller, don't use this D-pad. Now let's get onto the diamond shaped D-pad here. Just like this guy, this also has a flat surface, but unlike this guy, it's not rounded. This is a diamond shaped D-pad, and you have these corners here that really helps you with cardinal directions. If you want to press the straight directions, just go to the corners, and if you want to do a diagonal, just press the edges, right? And because this is a flat surface, motion inputs is also very good on here. This diamond shaped D-pad is actually the best of both worlds, right? You can feel the edges here, like on the cross shaped D-pad, but it's also smooth like the disc here. However, it's not perfect though. This D-pad is kind of big. In fact, it's really big. Look how much bigger it is than the cross shaped D-pad. And because it's so big, you gotta move your thumb quite a bit of distance in between the directions. And for the most part, I prefer my D-pad to be up here, PlayStation style. But in this case, I find that this big diamond shaped D-pad is more comfortable for me down here. And luckily for us, we can make that happen. In this position, I can reach all of the directions just a lot easier. When it's on top, if you want to do up, I gotta stretch my thumb all the way up here. But here, it's a lot more reachable to me. This diamond shaped D-pad is particularly good for a game like Street Fighter 6. And that's just because of the smooth surface, right? So you can slide your thumb around freely.
Come on, it's time to train.
I can do all of my combos on here, no problem. Although I will say one thing though, because this D-pad is kind of big, when you do double quarter circles, make sure that you slide it all the way up and then do it again. Because if you do it really fast, sometimes you don't go all the way to forward, right? So it's down, down, forward, and then you go back to down instead of going forward, then you miss the combo. Again, go all the way to the corner, like that. 360s and 720s on here are very good as well. Now, you would think that the lack of a hard pivot would cause some issues when it comes to sliding motions, right? But as you can see there, that's just not the case here. So yeah, this diamond shaped D-pad is excellent for fighting games. After you get used to the size of this diamond shaped D-pad, it's probably the best of all of these D-pad shapes. The cross shaped D-pad is pretty close though. And if you like a smaller size D-pad, I'd probably go with this guy. Alright, let's go to Game Paddler and take a look at the input lag when wired. The average latency for the button is about 10 milliseconds. Wow, that's pretty bad. And the sticks is 17. Polling rate's about 125. Jitter is over 1 milliseconds for the buttons and over 2 milliseconds for the sticks. So these are actually pretty slow numbers across the board. And on the dongles, even worse. Button latency is over 15 milliseconds and 26 milliseconds for the sticks. Polling rate is about 122, a little bit slower. And jitter is really bad on here for the dongle. And you can see here, this is under Sony mode. Not sure if you can see on the screen here, but there's a few modes here. This is PS5, PS4, and PC. Right now I'm under PC mode. I wonder if these numbers are any different on PC mode. Let's test it out ourselves. The average polling rate, yeah, it's about 125 Hz. It's pretty stable. And the average input delay is about 8 milliseconds. But jitter is a lot better. So your mileage may vary. I think if you put it in wire mode, it should be pretty good. Now I'm curious to see if the Xbox version is any better. Okay, the polling rate is still around 125, so I would say it's probably the same. So there you have it. Unfortunately, this is not the fastest controller out there in terms of polling rate at least, but to be honest with you, when I'm actually using the controller, I didn't really notice how slow it is. Alright, final thoughts. Despite the low polling rate, this is actually a very good controller for fighting games. And the main reasons for that are the D-pads. These two D-pads here are fantastic. There's a lot of feel to them and they're very accurate. I like the membrane switches on here. You can really feel them. And the Fightpad module is also very good. I just wish that these weren't micro switches though. If you game exclusively on the PS5, then your choices are pretty limited. For the PS5, this is probably the best controller out there for fighting games. However, it comes with a cost though. This guy is over 200 bucks. It's not cheap. And for some reason, I don't know why PlayStation controllers are always more expensive than Xbox controllers. Now, if you already have the original Pro BFG, is it worth it to upgrade to the new one? For $200? No, absolutely not. Do not do it. It's essentially the same controller with a more ergonomic fight pad. I actually got this guy on sale for about 150 bucks, but even then, that's kind of not worth it. But if you don't already have the old version, then yeah, pick up the new version. This is the better version. Hopefully for the next one, they'll bump up the polling rate on this guy. And also, please do not use micro switches. Just regular old membrane would do, or maybe better yet, metal switches. That would be a dream come true. Now the other thing is for the hybrid D-pad, I would change the shape to something more like this. Alright, that's gonna be it for me. Hopefully you found the video to be helpful. If you did, give it a like, subscribe for more, and take care now.